hopefully this makes people realize if the auto workers and the automobile executives can get together and form this kind of alliance, I think we're making some real progress. But thank you, Jennifer, for what you've done and continue to do.
All right, that was President Biden yesterday during a virtual infrastructure call. The only problem is Biden wasn't talking to a Jennifer. He was talking to Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. And as you can see, her name is prominently displayed on the screen directly in front of the president. The interesting part of this is that the White House press corps immediately came to Biden's defense and tried to explain away his gaffe. Reuters' Jeff Mason wrote this: Biden mistakenly says, "Thank you, Jennifer," to Governor Gretchen Whitmer, perhaps thinking of former Michigan Governor, now Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm. But this isn't the first time that Biden has forgotten or messed up someone's name. If you remember this, he called Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, the guy who runs that outfit over there, and he called DHS Secretary Javier Becerra, and his own Vice President, Kamala Harris, he called her Kamala. Well, joining us now is our company, former White House advisor for the Trump administration and host of the Gorka Reality Check right here on Newsmax, Sebastian Gorka, and national memo editor and chief and Newsmax contributor Joe Conason. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
All right, gentlemen, I want to get to both of you. I'm going to start with you, Seb. You know, you and I were both in the White House. The press corps in this White House rushes to Biden's defense when he makes a mistake. When this was us in the White House with President Trump, they literally ran the opposite way and tried to figure out if he was losing it, if he needed to take a cognitive test. I mean, it's every time Biden does something, there's an excuse for why he did it. You can call it petty, that's fine, but it wasn't petty under Trump, Seb.
No, it's not petty. And this isn't, you know, the local little league. This is the man who bears the title President of the United States, Sean. And you know, yesterday, he mixes up somebody's name, but Jennifer for Gretchen. I mean, if he'd said Groucho, maybe. I mean, Groucho and Gretchen are similar, but Jennifer. And at the same time, the video is out there. It's viral. He walks past the entrance to the West Wing. He doesn't follow the Secret Service agent's guidance, and he walks off the path onto the grass.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Before they have to steer him back. So look, the press corps is a joke. Glenn Kessler, the great fact checker for the Washington Post, 2 weeks ago, Sean, he shut down the Biden presidential fact checking column because he doesn't make mistakes. These people are clowns.
You know, John, Joe, it was right on my screen. I don't know how I screwed that up. You know, Joe, I know, like, I think the point here, right, is everybody makes mistakes. I was at the White House podium, man. I got crushed every time I mispronounced the Prime Minister of Australia's name, right? And you're up there, you have these high-pressure situations. Who knows? I agree with Jeff Mason. He probably was thinking of Jennifer Granholm, the previous Michigan governor, who he has appointed to his cabinet. Okay, I get it. But it's no matter what Biden does, it's always the press corps who runs to his defense and says, here's why that's not big of a deal. When President Trump has an issue with a railing or got a name wrong, it was, we've got a serious problem with a man in the White House. The contrast couldn't be clearer.
Well, I mean, you know, we can play this game all day, and it's kind of fun. I mean,
it's not a game.
There's a great one with Trump, you know, a couple of months ago where he couldn't remember who Neil Armstrong was or what Neil Armstrong did when he was in Ohio, when he said that we sent a brave young man to a plant when he was trying to talk about sending someone to the moon. And, you know, I guess that got a little notice. It didn't get a lot, but that was weird. And there have been plenty of examples of that with Trump. I guess they got more play, but I see plenty of play given to every problem that Biden has, whether they're real or, you know, somewhat fabricated. I mean,
that's just not true.
You know, the other day, let me give you a good example. So the other day, the Washington Post ran a 3,000-word piece called "What Trump Got Right." Did you see that? It was a stunning.
And that's really emblematic of the Washington Post, right, Joe? Well, that's really emblematic of the Washington Post. Come on.
It was great that they did that 6 months after he left office, too, by the way.
They never did that. They never did that with Obama. And I don't think they did it
They
with
didn't
Clinton
need to.
either.
They were blowing smoke up his backside for 8 years. Get a line. Come on.
You can find plenty of criticism of any Democrat in these publications. And,
That's such garbage.
Oh, come on.
The thing about this is, Joe,
Garbage.
this is not just like once a day or once a week. It's almost every other day we have an instance of this. So at what point will the left take it seriously and not just dismiss it?
Well, I guess
When
they
did
would take
they
it
ask
seriously if they
Donald
thought it
Trump
was
about
serious.
his favorite ice cream flavor? I mean, seriously, this is
God, I would kill for
propaganda.
that.
This is literal propaganda right now.
Well, I mean, it's not that there isn't some bias in both sides of the press. I would say, mainstream press is not in love with Trump. That's true. But you do see gestures towards fairness, like that piece.
They're not in like.
Okay, so hang on. Let me get it right. Not in love. Let me translate this Orwellian insanity. Not in love with Trump. Okay. Equals 4 years. He's a Russian asset and they stole the election. That's not in love with. I don't know who this person is, but this is this is why it's fake news and these people aren't journalists.
Yeah. Well, and I think when you have people coming to the defense constantly, it makes you not take them seriously. And even if they are coming out with some of these pieces that might bode well to Trump, they didn't. When he was in the White House, everything was aggressive.
I detect a level of desperation, Mr. Gorka, his abusive language, all the rest.
It's called truth. It's called truth. Listen to you in your NPR voice, in your volume-laden NPR voice. You just can't
but here's what I don't get.
Truth.
You now have another audio and video of the president's son talking about a Russian taking his laptop. And there's no, listen, hold on. I don't understand this. How do you have the video of the president's son talking about how the Russians have his laptop, may blackmail him, and nobody but Newsmax is covering it?
Guys, because it was not credible. I mean, it's just, I'm sorry, that's not a credible story. Almost nobody believed it. Well, sorry,
It's Hunter.
It's a
on
video.
Videos, not credible. So I guess JFK wasn't shot either, right, Joe? Because it was on video, not credible.
So here's the thing.
We're going to have to leave it here, guys.
We're
out of time.
Look at the Fox News poll that came out today.
All right.
It shows the public is behind Joe Biden, and they don't care about this stuff. It's just not making a dent.
Right
I know that frustrates.
We'll have to leave it there. Gentlemen, I'm going to have to cut you off because we are out of time. Appreciate you guys being here tonight.
Thank you.
MAGA.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.